Welcome back, friends. He's a master collector of movie-related toys, and here to tell us about movies coming up in 2017 that are highly collectible. The new Lego movie, Batman, or Lego Batman, Smurfs, Guardians 2, and talking about the new Star Wars movie, too, for crying out loud, Rogue One. We've got Miles Johnson and his daughter, Rose. Folks, we appreciate you being here. You're with the Kentucky Star Wars Collectors Club. That's right. And these folks are hardcore. I mean, we're talking about a lot of value and a lot of sentiment as well. I mean, this is our childhood laid out here in a lot of cases. So, Miles, I got to ask right off the bat here, what did you think of the new Star Wars movie?
In all honesty, I loved it. I never quite understood what they were going to mean by single story ones.
Yeah.
And I know we're all used to trilogies. The single story film worked very much for me. It explained a lot. I think it blends into the next movies. But at the same time, there's hardly much you can say about it without giving so much of it away.
This is true. Well, and Rose, I got to ask you too. I mean, they had Miles. I mean, this is our generation. We wanted something that harkened back to the original �77 film. What was it like for you to see Rogue One?
Well, I actually saw it twice.
Okay.
Once with my family, once with my friends. And a couple of my friends have fell in love with the entire franchise now because they saw Rogue One.
From that one. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a good sign. So that means we've got a highly collectible movie here, right, guys?
Yes.
I mean, I've seen the toys all over the stores. Hard to find items for the holiday season? How's the Rogue One doing from a retail standpoint?
It looks like the first wave did go off the shelves, and some of the characters, the robot, were more popular, so they're gone.
Okay.
And they may not have, with other movies coming up, they may not have other waves coming from it. So if there's something you like, you might need to grab it.
Okay, so yeah, this is advice here for collectors. You know, you always hear about, oh, I had this great Star Wars collection. I had the $6 Million Man stuff from the mid-'70s. How do you know when to hold them and when to fold them, for example? I mean, what do you put away for 20, 30 years and it becomes worth hundreds or thousands, and how do you make that call?
I think it's harder with the newer things. You know, about 20 years ago, everything started getting stamped limited edition, limited edition. Well, limited edition still might be, they've manufactured 50 million of something.
Okay.
So if it's just known that there is a short pack of a figure, then those are the ones you need to grab first, or a variation.
And you've brought a great example here. Some of these things readily available, some of them very, very hard to find. I love the assortment of Bigfoot items you have. I remember the Bigfoot craze from the mid-late '70s, In Search Of, and he was on the $6 Million Man, actually.
The $6 Million Man.
And interesting that he's got Bigfoot has a whole subculture of toys, collectible toys as well.
Bigfoot, it was one of the things that I marveled at as a kid. It also scared me to hear about it or to see news stories. And when I was older, I was a technician out in Washington in one town that my mom reminded me that he had a sighting there. So at a yard sale, I picked up the big doll. I kind of figured it was Bigfoot, and it does have some value to it, but I decided to have a mini collection. I know my wife would love for me to have more smaller collections or just a small collection.
That's not going to happen, yeah.
But I found this Bigfoot game within the last year from the '70s that I rescued it. It was tumbling in a bin at a big thrift store in Nashville, and I got it before it could open up and just everything be lost forever. So I got a couple other pieces that they actually made a Bigfoot action figure and a Bigfoot call that maybe Rose in the future, because she's a believer, might go looking for them.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Well, tell me a little bit about the club, guys. How often do you guys get together? And for folks watching that may be collectors or want to start collecting, can they learn more about the organization and join as well?
Well, we're on Facebook. We meet pretty much every month. If we're not meeting at a house, we'll meet at a business somewhere, or we get invited. We just did the Regal last week, and I set up toys. I love bringing out seasonal Christmas Star Wars, because there's nothing better than combining Star Wars and Christmas. So pretty much every month, and we do have 2 or 3 big functions a year.
Okay.
And you know, once again, when we meet a lot of people when we're doing public displays, we always remind them that they may want to just come once and see what we're doing. But we do pick up, you know, so many members a year just from folks that were just very interested in it and said, you know what, I think this is for me.
I love how multi-generational it is. Perfect example here, father and daughter being able to enjoy,
Yes.
enjoy the hobby. You know, we grew up on these films in the
Absolutely.
70s and 80s. Rose comes along, and she's a part of the action now, too. And from growing up in Cincinnati in the 70s, remembering the Kenner
Where
craze,
Kenner
the
Street's
first
still
line
there.
of this stuff, it's all very exciting. So, you know, save this stuff. You never know
Absolutely.
what it's going to be worth down the road, or you may never sell it. It may just be too sentimental to you.
Yeah.
So that's the tough call, right?
Yeah, not for me. I keep it. It doesn't go anywhere.
There we go. All right, well, we've got information at the bottom of the screen to learn more about the organization. Guys, thanks for coming out. Real quick, we've just got a few seconds left. What's the hot movie to collect next year? What are you putting your money on? Guardians 2, the Lego Batman, what are you thinking?
Probably the Guardians of the Galaxy
thinking
movie.
Guardians.
Okay.
I'm excited for that one.
All right, we're going to keep our eye on that one
Yep,
then.
I think that's going to be
Very
a winner.
good. Guys, come back and visit us, okay?
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Oh,
you.
good to see you both. Back in just a second. Stick around.